you probably heard before that music is just another language. And the longer I teach, the more I realize that that's really true. And we learn music similarly to the way we learn a language. Usually the best way to learn a language is to grow up in a home where that language is spoken. And so the child naturally learns to speak that language. And if there's more than one language spoken in that home, the child more than likely learns to speak more than one language too. That's the easiest way to learn. And so that's called immersion. And so the same thing works with music. Like it or whether we realize it or not, we are all immersed in music, and we're used to hearing it wherever we go, whether it's in the store or at home or in the car, wherever, we're immersed in music. But the difference is we are not literate in music. So let's think about that for a minute. When we begin to learn a language, yes, we learn it before we begin to write it. And later, as we go through school, we learn the building blocks of that language. And so we don't start with an essay. We have to break everything down to the smallest parts. So from an essay, we would break it down to a paragraph, and from a paragraph to a sentence to a word, and word to word blends to individual letters. And so the problem is when it comes to music, we haven't done that. As a society, we haven't taught the same way. And so that's my endeavor when I start with kindergarten. And if you go into the kindergarten classroom, the normal kindergarten classroom, you're going to see the alphabet, letters of the alphabet on the wall. And so the same thing should happen in the kindergarten music classroom. You should start with the music alphabet. Now, the cool thing about the music alphabet is there's only 7 letters. And so that makes it quite a lot easier than learning other alphabets. So let's figure out what are those letters and how they work. So the music alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that's it. And when you get to G, you start over again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And the nice thing, another nice thing to do with the music alphabet is to learn it backwards. G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And the reason we want to be able to learn it forward and backward is because that's the way it's used when we write it. And so let's look at that for just a minute. So one thing I like to do in my music classroom is I like to put the music alphabet on the board vertically. So let me do that real quick. Let's see, right here, A, C, D, F, G, A, B. So I started with A, I don't know how far, but look what I can do too. Here with A, I could do G, F, E, and we could just keep going. That's how it works. The music alphabet just goes up like that, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and when we need to go down, it goes like that. So it's really pretty basic and pretty simple.